What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's Manga Sutra Manga review, and in this week's video we're going to be talking about a supernatural horror drama called Pygmalion. Now, Pygmalion is in many ways similar to Mahou Shoujo of the End, Jinmin, and Dolly Kill Kill from a plot standpoint. Our manga starts off with our three main characters, Kigo Ayahara, his little brother Makoto Ayahara, and their cousin Ako, going to attend the National Local Mascots Festival. Now, the festival occurs throughout all of Japan, and the different prefectures and districts have their own local festivals and their own local mascots. Now, our three main characters seem to be enjoying themselves, with Makoto being excited and hyperactive and running around, Kigo kind of being upset with how crowded and how hot it is, and Ako messing with Kigo. Now, flashback to the moment Ako is talking to Kigo and Makoto's mom to convince her to let them go to the festival. We hear in the background that a woman's body was found torn apart in a local news report. Now, flash forward back to the current situation at the festival. Kigo has to go to the restroom, and he leaves Ako and Makoto together. On the way to the restroom, he bumps into an intimidating guy who he believes to be Yakuza, who will be important later on down the line. Now, Ako and Makoto are waiting for a special announcement from the president of the company that is sponsoring the festivals around Japan. Now, we go to the president's location. We find out that the president is dead, and we find out that everybody in the building with the president has been massacred. Now, Kigo can't seem to find a bathroom, and Makoto sees this weird piglet-like little creature in front of him. So he begins to chase after it, and eventually he corners it in an alley. Now, the speakers begin to sound, and a mysterious voice begins to speak throughout all the festivals around Japan, asking what makes humans work, and answering that it's lies that makes humans work, and that it has found a way to turn lies into truth. Now, as Makoto has cornered this little piglet creature that looks cute and innocent, this creature begins to grow and its mouth begins to expand into this wide, gaping maw that looks like it's going to swallow Makoto. Kigo begins to witness one of the mascots act weird. As a girl's talking to her mother, asking her about what type of food to get, the mascot just punches the girl's back out and kills her, and then kills her mom right in front of Kigo. Now, on top of that, we see these mascots are massacring everybody at the festival. They're just killing people, and people are panicking. And you can assume this is going on a nationwide scale all throughout Japan. At other festivals, this is probably going on even worse. Now, Kigo is strict with fear, and this dog mascot is about to punch his face clean off. Kigo manages to dodge and run and try to head for Ako. Now, Ako, she's dealing with her own issues right now. Her father is injured, and Bunaki, the local corn mascot, is in front of them and is about to kill them. Now, the intimidating guy from earlier that Kigo bumped into begins to shoot at Bunaki, and what is supposed to be killing blows turn out to only stun Bunaki for a couple of minutes. Now, this mysterious figure that Kigo believed to be Yakuza is offering to help Ako and her father escape. However, Ako is adamant that she has to find Kigo and Makoto. We see that Bunaki is just not human. Whatever was in Bunaki's suit or costume, that was never human. The bullet doesn't seem to affect him at all. Bunaki seems to heal from it. And when Kigo finally managed to catch up to Ako, her father, and this mysterious guy, we see that Bunaki begins to grow a mouth. That Bunaki is beginning to develop eyes. And Bunaki is screaming. Now, this is truly horrific sight. However, also going back to Makoto, we see his body lying on the floor, but we also see wounds around his neck beginning to regenerate. Now, at the end of the manga, the mysterious figure that was speaking through the intercoms begins to tell another creature about the tale of Pygmalion. Now, Pygmalion was this sculptor who sculpted a statue. He fell in love with his statue. And eventually he prayed to the goddess Aphrodite to bring him a woman just like his statue. Now the goddess of Aphrodite heard his wish, or heard his prayer, and she gave life to the statue. And the man eventually, fell in love with the statue, and so on and so forth. Happy ending. Now, apparently though, we all know this is a horror manga. There's no happy endings in horror mangas. Now, getting into the review. Like I said from the beginning, from a plot standpoint, it is identical to Mahou Shoujo of the End. It is identical to Genmin. It is identical to Dolly Kill Kill. They all start off with the same introductory setup, where our main characters are in this bliss, serene, almost innocent-like environment. And then they are thrown into absolute hell not too long afterwards. In Mahou Shoujo of the End, the main character was with his childhood friend in the classroom before a magical girl came in and massacred everyone in his classroom. And then that's when magical girls started falling out of the sky and causing nationwide death throughout Japan. In Genmin, our main character used to go to the zoo all the time. He remembered the zoo as his peaceful, serene place, his safe place, basically. And when he returns, it's not the same way he remembers it, but at least he still has his elephant friend. But then his elephant friend is different, and we find out that not too long after, it goes from 0 to 60, these animals start massacring everybody at the zoo. Then it's not just the zoo, it's the city. And it just deteriorates rapidly in Shinmin. It's insane. You have kangaroos like pretty much slinging bodies around. In Dolly Kill Kill, if I remember correctly, because it's been a while since I read it, they were at school. They were participating, I believe, in track or some other sport or something, and these insects start stinging people. Some people's limbs start falling off, some people start dying. Then you have these dollies that are also killing people left and right, and causing destruction not just in Japan, but around the whole entire world. Now, another thing that these manga all have in common is that there is an evil mastermind behind it all, seemingly. At least not yet in Genmin. I don't know about Genmin. I'm not that far ahead to know if there's a mastermind in Genmin yet, but I'm going to assume there is. In Mahou Shoujo of the End, we find out that there is an evil mastermind, and we have these mysterious figures watching over the destruction. In Dolly Kill Kill, we find out that there is a mastermind behind the Dolly's arrival, and behind the plushies, and behind people with these abilities and aura and so on and so forth. And in Pygmalion or Pygmalion, we find out that this mysterious voice or whatever, he might have a certain agenda, since he says he's able to make lies into truth, and that he proclaimed himself to be Pygmalion of this world. Now, whether there's a mastermind in Genmin, I don't know. But I suppose there is, because these animals just didn't develop this illness out of nowhere. It could be a, crafted biological weapon. It could be supernatural. Who knows? But in most of these horror mangas, there is always an evil mastermind. And that's my critique of mangas like Dolly Kill Kill, Mahou Shoujo of the End, or Pygmalion. I'm not saying that I don't like the introductory setup or the plot blueprint that it follows. I love it. I love Mahou Shoujo of the End. I love Genmin. I love Dolly Kill Kill. I love Pygmalion so far. But what I'm saying is, sometimes there doesn't need to be an evil mastermind. Sometimes there doesn't need to be an underlying reason or order to chaos. Sometimes it can just be chaos for chaos' sake. Sometimes, things just happen just because. It doesn't need to have a person behind it being the grand architect. Sometimes it can be an accident. Sometimes it can just be random. Sometimes it can just be for revenge. But it doesn't need to have this grand architect behind it all, this grand mastermind with this evil plan that only they know. Now, art style wise, the designs for the mascots remind me of Mahou Shoujo of the End with its magical girls, and the regeneration of Makoto's wounds reminds me of Dolly Kill Kill with the main character and his healing and regeneration factor. Getting back to talking about the plot, like I said, I have no problem with the introductory setup. I have no problem with the plot blueprint that it follows. I just feel like when you follow this type of introductory setup and you follow this type of plot blueprint over and over and over and over again with a lot of different horror manga, it starts to get repetitive and it starts to get boring. And I feel like Pygmalion needs to be careful that it doesn't fall into that same category. Now, the only thing that really separates Pygmalion from Dolly Kill Kill and Mahou Shoujo of the End and Jinmin is the fact that each one brings its own unique dynamic to the table. With Mahou Shoujo of the End, you have these magical girls and their wands, and the fact that when they kill somebody, that person might become a zombie. In Dolly Kill Kill, you have the dollies, you have the plushies, you have these humans with these special type of energy that they can wield for special attacks. With Pygmalion, you have these mascots, and I don't know whether the humans can be infected or turned or whatever, but with Makoto, it seems to be the case. In Jinmin, you have these animals that have these human-like faces, human characteristics and behavior, and it seems that they can infect other animals, or that they can steal people's faces. Now, that is, like I said, to be discovered, or to be, determined, because I'm not that far along in the manga yet to actually know exactly what's going on. With Mahou Shoujo of the End, I'm near the end of the series. With Dolly Kill Kill, I'm fairly far along in the series. But with Jinmin and Pygmalion, I'm not that far ahead. I'm only just less than a dozen chapters in. So anything plot-wise, I couldn't give you too much detail on it. I would recommend reading it, though. If you love Mahou Shoujo of the End, if you love Jinmin, if you love Dolly Kill Kill, then you're going to love Pygmalion. And you're going to love what it brings to the table. You're going to love the type of interesting dynamic that it has. Chapter 2 has just been released recently, and I really like the way Chapter 2 developed, and I cannot wait for more chapters to come. I recommend buying it, and like I said, if you love those other types of series that are like it, then you're going to love what Pygmalion has to offer. This is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.